Section 2.2, problem solving with rational numbers in decimal form. Like the idea is, so we've got working example number 1, add and subtract rational numbers in decimal form. We're going to estimate and then calculate. So we've got this question here, 2.65 plus negative 3.81. By estimating, we're going to say that 2.65 is close to 3, and negative 3.81 is close to negative 4. So 3 plus negative 4, that's the same as saying 3 minus 4, which will give you a negative 1. So that's our estimation. Now we'll actually use calculation techniques. And method 1 for this is using paper and pencil. Adding the opposite is the same as subtracting. So that's a key thing to remember when dealing with positive and negative values. So we can rewrite the 2.65 plus negative 3.81 as 2.65, that doesn't change. So instead of adding a negative, we're just going to subtract 3.81. To do that, line them up so that your decimals line up. And in this case, both have 2 decimals after the decimal point, so we don't have to fill in with any zeros, so that's a little bit easier. 5 does not come out of 1, so we'll borrow 1 from the 8, make that 11. So 11 minus 5 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. Then we've got our decimal point, and 3 minus 2 is also 1. So 1.16. So that answer, 1.16, must be negative, since 3.81 is larger than 2.65. We're subtracting a number that is bigger than the first number, so our answer has to be negative. So in that case, 2.65 plus negative 3.81 becomes negative 1.16. Now let's look back at our estimate. We had estimated negative 1. That is quite close to negative 1.16. So our estimate was good, and our calculation is accurate as well. Next up, method 2, your favorite, use a calculator. So clear it, hit your C button, 2.65 plus 3.81, and then you can hit this plus or minus button to change the 3.81 to a negative. Then click the equal sign, and it will give you the negative 1.16. Now, this process is not going to work on every single calculator. Some calculators, you actually need to hit your plus minus sign before you type in your number. You know your calculator best. Make sure you understand that. Now, as far as the PAT is concerned, you need to be able to do it this way. This is a prime type of question that the PAT may ask you when you don't have access to a calculator. So make sure you know you're adding and you're subtracting and you're multiplying and dividing in long form. Question B. We've got negative 5.96 minus negative 6.83. Okay, well, let's estimate first. Negative 5.96 is very close to negative 6. And then we're subtracting negative 6.83, that's pretty close to 7. So we're subtracting negative 7. Subtracting a negative is the same as adding. 2 negatives cancel each other out to become a positive. So negative 6 plus 7. Now if you look at your number line, and we've got 0 here, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 7, 1, 2, 3, etc. Let's start on the first number. That's negative 6. We're starting right there. And then we're adding positive 7. When you add a positive number, you move to the right on your number line. So we're going to move 7 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So your answer is positive 1. Method 1 for calculating. Use paper and pencil. Subtracting a negative is the same as adding the opposite. So again, let's go back to the original question, negative 5.96 minus negative 6.83. Let's clean this portion of it up. Negative 5.96 doesn't change, but subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive. So we're going to change this to plus 6.83. Now, because the signs are opposite, what you can do is subtraction. So 6.83 plus negative 5.96 is the same as this. You've just reversed which number it is. But if you're adding a negative, that's the same as subtracting. So you can do this calculation here. Make sure you understand that process of manipulating the positives and negatives. So now we're looking at 6.83 minus 5.96. So 6.83 minus 5.96, line up your decimals. Again, there's 2 decimal places after each one, so you don't have to add any zeros. 3 minus 6 you can't do, so we're going to borrow. That becomes a 7. 13 minus 6 becomes 7. 7 minus 9 you can't do, so we're going to borrow from there as well. So now we're at 17 minus 9, gives you an 8. Our decimal lines up. 5 minus 5 is 0. So 0.87 is our solution. Double check your sign. 6.83 is bigger than 5.96. The bigger number is positive, the smaller one is negative, so your answer is going to be positive. So that is correct. Again, you can always go back to a calculator, clear it, 5.96, make it negative by hitting your plus minus sign, then subtract 6.83, hit your plus minus sign to make it negative, and then equals, and you'll end up with 0.87. Next up is a show you know to practice. Make sure you do your estimates and then also do your calculations. Go ahead and do that.